Hey everyone, welcome to the Phoenix Rise podcast. Claire here, your host. So happy to have you with me. This is our last day of our 6-day mini-series for the Visionary Framework, which we are amplifying for the Elevate methodology in our Elevate Mastermind. And we are on one of my favorites. We are on collaboration over competition. Okay, hands up if you have ever looked at someone else's success and thought, why not me? For those of you listening, my hand shot up because that was me for so long. And the thing is that we have competition ingrained into us, right? From our early childhood, everything is about competition. Who's going to win at sports day? Who's going to be the best in this test in class? Who's going to get the like top thing in the year leaving book, right? All of those things. It's like everything is a competition. And a bit of competition, don't get me wrong, is healthy, but it actually stems from a very insecure place. It stems from a very lack mindset. It stems from there not being enough space for everyone. It stems from there not being enough abundance to go around. And so when we want to step into that visionary leadership role, right? When we want to be the biggest, brightest, best version of ourselves, when we want to take up space, we have to stop seeing everyone else living the life that we want as competition. Because what that does is it keeps our focus on lack. And what you focus on, you get more of. So if you're focused on someone else's success, in return, you are going to attract less because you're focused on someone else. You're not focused on yourself. You're focused on your lack of it. You're focused on them having it and your lack of it, that wanting, that yearning, that why not me, right? So many entrepreneurs stay stuck in this mindset, and that is why they will never get to where they want to be. It's why they will never hit the kind of success that they desire, because they're stuck at the bottom in competition. Instead of seeing what the universe is actually trying to show you, right? So try this reframe. Next time you see someone else living the life that you desire, having the dream clients that you want, hitting the 10K months that you want, off on their holidays all the time, they look like they've got it all, right? And you feel that ping, you know, that twinge of jealousy, that twinge of why not me, that twinge of unworthiness, that twinge of unfairness, that twinge of there's not enough to go around. I want you to think about this. Okay, what if this is the universe showing me what is possible for me? I'm seeing this because it is possible for me, because it's what I want, because the universe is showing me this is what I can have. It's possible. That's why I'm seeing it. Because remember, we only ever see our own reality, right? We only ever see a tiny fraction of the entire world. We only ever see a small sense of everything that we could see. And so the fact that you have even noticed that at all, the fact that it has come into your peripheral vision, the fact that it's been put in front of you and you've noticed it, means that it is meant for you to notice. But it's not meant in the way that we think it's meant. It's not meant to trigger us. It's not meant to make us feel unworthy. It's not meant to keep us stuck. It's meant to motivate us. It's meant to inspire us. It's meant to empower us. It's meant to show us what is possible. It's meant for us to say, oh my God, look what they've created. If they can do it, I can do it too. That's what it's meant to be. But because of our upbringings, because of the way that society makes us think, and it makes us believe what isn't possible for us, we get sucked into this mindset of there not being enough to go around. There's not enough of the pie, right? If they've got a chunk of it, that's a chunk less for you. If they've got dream clients, well, how are you going to have them? Because they've already got them. Have you ever felt that when you've looked at someone else in your industry, in your sector, working with the kind of people that you want to be working with? It's like, well, if they've already got them, how am I going to have them? Why would they want me when they could have them? Do you see how small we're thinking here? Do you see what kind of mindset, what kind of mentality that we get sucked into here? How egotistic is it of us to think that there is just that tiny, minuscule amount of people that we're meant to work with, that are out there for everyone? We forget that there's a whole world, that abundance is infinite, that the population is increasing second by second, that more millionaires are being made year after year. That abundance has always been there. It's just now we're learning how to tap into it. Now we're learning not to restrict ourselves. Now we're learning that actually we don't have to stay so small, that actually we don't have to stay so confined. Actually, we don't have to just survive. We can thrive. And the best way to thrive is by seeing the collaboration, the opportunities that the universe is putting in front of you. And when you learn to alchemize this, oh my God, it is heart nourishing. And I say this as someone who saw everyone as competition. I mean, I had walls around me that were so tall and so wide that no one was getting through those fuckers, right? They were not being knocked down for anyone, because I thought I had to look after number one. I thought if I let someone in my world who did what I did, who worked with who I want to work with, who was somehow taking away from my success, from my opportunity, from my possibility of achieving what I wanted to achieve. But when I learned to alchemize this, when I learned to smash down those brick walls and to open myself up to collaboration, to community, to camaraderie, oh my gosh, my heart literally exploded. But not only that, the synchronicities imploded, right? They dropped and they dropped and they dropped. And it was like opportunity, 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 one after the other. And now my diary this year is literally full of collaborations. That's all I've got. Everything that I'm doing is about collaboration and community, because that's the era that I'm in now. Okay, that's what I'm here to teach, to embody, to be, to alchemize for my own journey. This is what I'm all about this year, because that's where I am on my path. And if you want to step into that visionary leadership role, you need to stop thinking how struggling entrepreneurs think. You need to stop seeing everyone as competition, and you need to start acting and thinking and moving how the people at the top think and move and act, because they don't have the time, nor the energy, nor the desire to even focus on what other people are doing. All they care about is their mission, their passion, their purpose. That is all they care about. They don't have time for worrying about what anyone else is up to. They focus on their calling, on their dharma, on their quest, on what they're here to do. And when they see others raising their game, when they see others with the crowns on their heads, they pull out the throne and they say, come and sit at the table beside me, because there's enough for us all to feast on. Because when we collaborate together, when we come together, we rise together. We reach further, right? Your message, your mission, your movement reaches further, because you're not only reaching your audience, you're reaching someone else's audience. The ripple effect turns into a tsunami. it spreads far wider than you can ever reach on your own. And after all, that's what it's all about, right? That's what it's all about. How much impact you can make in the world. Because if that's not what it's about, then why are you doing this? Because if you're doing it for the money, you've got it all backwards. You need to go and listen to some of my other podcasts. Because the impact has to come first. The service has to come first. The why has to come first. And when you are so focused on that, you can then think, okay, well, if that is the important thing here, then surely collaboration makes absolute sense, because it's more people to reach. It's more people spreading the same message. It's more lives touched. It's more impact made. And that is what it is about. That is why you're doing what you do. I hope it is anyway. If you're in my world, if you're in my orbit, it should be. Because I tend to attract people who are here for a reason, who want a business that fills them up as well as their bank balance. It fills up their soul, right? This is what it's about. This is what it's about in my world anyway. So collaboration enables you to spread that message further. And it also makes it much more fun, I can tell you, because it can be lonely at the top, right? You can lose a lot of relationships on your way to the top because people will just fall by the wayside if they cannot match your frequency. That's not saying anything bad against anyone else. It's just energetics. It's just energetics. As you raise your game, as you raise your frequency, as you raise your vibration, there will be people in your lives that you lose because they cannot match the frequency that you are elevating to. And that's okay, because everyone is on their own journey. But if you don't then start to allow others into your world that are on that same frequency, it gets lonely, babe. And I say this from experience, because just over a year ago, I remember being sat on my bed, writing in my journal, literally tears running down my face. I want to be surrounded by amazing women, by women who are on the same journey as me, who don't see me as competition, who don't invalidate me for my big dreams, my big goals, my big aspirations, who don't make me feel guilty or bad or shame me for wanting wealth, for wanting more for myself, for wanting the kind of life that I want. Because I didn't have that through my own doing, because I was too scared to let it in, because I didn't know how I could achieve my success as well as letting these people into my life, into my world, at the risk of them taking away my clients, my abundance, my share of the pie. Right? And I say this being extremely vulnerable with you because I know what it's like. And so many of us feel shame around this, but it's not your fault. This is the way that we are programmed to act and to believe and to think. It's not your fault, but you can change it. It doesn't have to stay like that. And this is why I'm now franchising my crystal business, because when I started it 3 years ago, I was in that mindset. I didn't want to hear about anyone else selling crystals. I didn't trust anyone else selling crystals. I didn't want to hear about my customers buying from other people selling crystals. I was in that lack mindset of, if other people are in my world doing the same thing, they're taking away from my success, from my abundance, from what I want to do in the world. And now I get to relaunch this business in a completely different way, that one is going to scale it far bigger than ever before. We're on track for a 6-figure launch for franchising it, because I am in the energy of service. I'm in the energy of knowing how many people this is going to help to have passive income as part of their businesses, knowing that this is going to build such an amazing, badass community of people in this world with me. It excites me and it lights me up so much that I didn't even think about the numbers until I looked literally earlier today, and I was like, oh my God, we're literally potentially on track for a 6-figure launch. That's freaking amazing, because I hadn't even really thought about the numbers. It wasn't about the numbers. It was about the impact. It was about the collaboration. It was about the community. It was about the movement that I want to create in that space. And so this is why I say to you, collaboration is so important, but it is a complete mindset shift. And this is why we're going to be touching on this in the Elevate Mastermind, because if you want the success that you say that you want, you are going to have to act and move and think how people with that level of success move and act and think. Fact. So that's what we're going to do, right? We're going to teach you how to do that. We're going to start to change some of those old beliefs. We're going to start to rewire some of those old narratives, some of those old programs, and we're going to set up new stories, new structures, and new framework for you to implement in your business moving forwards, so you actually get to live the life that you want to live. But you don't have to do it in isolation. You don't have to do it alone, and you don't have to do it fearing that everyone else's success is taking away from yours. So that is the 6th and final pillar of the visionary framework that we will be covering and amplifying in the Elevate Mastermind, because we have not just myself, we have Jane as well, who is literally a mindset master. She is like mindset mastery queen. In fact, that's what I'm going to call her from now on. So we are elevating this, right? No pun intended, but we are elevating, amplifying, ramping up the visionary framework to even more, even better, even bolder than just me on my own. So it's going to be absolutely fire. Get yourself in there. The cutoff is the 31st of January. It's application only, because we want to make sure that this room is high vibe. It is go-getters. It is doers. And it is people who want to learn, people who want to grow, people who want to expand, and they are done with sitting on the sidelines, watching other people's success, thinking, why not me? It's the people who are ready to take down that barrier, step out onto that red carpet, and own their motherfucking space like the queen that you are. That is who the Elevate Mastermind is for. So if that sounds like you, links in the bio, you know where I am. Reach out if you have any questions. And I cannot wait for us to kick off with the framework in the beginning of February. So exciting. Right, until next time, I shall see you all soon.